Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. What's up, everybody? The Money Line. We're back. Another episode. It's UFC Kansas City. I'm AJ, joined by my guy, Mike Finch. What's happening, homie?
All good over here, man. My wife just turned 29 years of age,
Happy
so
birthday.
I've been eating just cake and bullshit all weekend. I feel fat and happy, my friend. And, man, we were treated to some good fist fights. The retirement of Jorge Masvidal. I mean, I expected Gilbert Burns to pull that one out, but I wasn't quite ready for the retirement.
You were heartbroken afterwards a little bit.
I mean, you know, it's like... I don't know. Can we see like Kelvin Gastelum versus Jorge Masvidal? Aren't there some good fights still to be had?
Kelvin Gastelum would fuck him up, bro. I don't want to see that shit. Don't. Kelvin Gastelum's too big now, bro. At 85, chill. Don't hurt my guy, Masvidal.
Right.
I think Kelvin's a monster. Kelvin just won against Chris Curtis, and that we'll talk to UFC in 1 second, but I do want to just touch real quickly on Masvidal retiring first because I'm not going to get into the recap. Masvidal, he had a tremendous run in MMA, and you know, people will say, "Oh, he was never a world champion." Yes, he was. The BMF belt at home, he has a BMF title that is a UFC title. He is forever the BMF champion. You can never take it from him. Plenty of guys have fought in the octagon and never got belts. He's got one, so he's a champion, and he gets to go out with the fucking BMF belt, never even needing to be defended. He's got that crown forever, man. Undisputed BMF champ, unbeatable at BMF, man. Even though he's taking losses, doesn't matter. It's BMF only. So to me, I think good career, good call. I feel like he wants to be in the biggest fights. The only thing that I was thinking though afterwards was, what happens if Conor McGregor loses to Michael Chandler? Is there not a potential Masvidal McGregor market? Or even if Conor McGregor beat a Michael Chandler and then, you know, didn't want to fight against whoever the hell else, boxing Masvidal maybe versus McGregor. I don't know. I feel like he's got his own boxing promotion now. So he said something, not going to be fighting. I'm retiring for now. And I heard something in the Ariel interview when he said that for now part. I said, boxing. Maybe boxing will call his name, because I do think that if he's just focused on hands, I feel like that could be better for him as he's getting a little older. Fight a guy that also is not a pro boxer, or can be, but not all high level. I think get an MMA fighter across the cage or a YouTube star. But right now, there's no market for Masvidal to do that. I think it'd be in like a year or two from now. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't even want to say the name, but, you know, there is a celebrity YouTube boxer that might square up with him. I don't know. It's interesting. He's an interesting spot. He's definitely made a ton of money these past few fights. I mean, I love seeing the mansion he lives in. Like, he's gone from, you know, not being able to pay, dining and dashing, to being a millionaire. So whatever you want, Jorge. Good for you, man. He came in shape. I thought he looked pretty good. You know, I think Gilbert Burns is just in his prime now. Gilbert Burns is just another level. So farewell to the street fighting Miami legend, Mr. Jorge Masvidal.
That's it, bro. This is the closing of a chapter for the Kimbo Slice era, because Masvidal was from the Kimbo Slice backyard.
Yeah,
that's it. This is where it ends. Masvidal, the book is closed now with really all the Kimbo Slice guys, man. The only guy left, even from like the notable street fighting scene, is Alex Caceres. He fought with Dada 5000, but it's not the same level as a Kimbo. So Masvidal, peace out to the legend, but his face will still be around. It's not like he's going anywhere. He's doing Game Bred boxing. He has Game Bred FC, and he has Icon. He has the Bare Knuckle MMA League. He's got everything. Masvidal is making bank. He is doing what I think every fighter that is, kind of ascended to somewhat of a high level should be doing, and that's capitalizing on their name and platform and turning it into business ventures. Because I think he's probably making more money now than he was making from the majority of his MMA career not fighting. He's doing great. I'm proud of him. I'm happy to see it.
It's a tough business. Like, having a mixed martial arts promotion is actually a very hard way to make money. I think it was smart. Didn't he start his own alcohol? He was doing multiple things.
Everything.
So Yeah, he's got a business mind for sure. And he's friends with the former president. Can't hurt.
That doesn't hurt at all.
Probably got some gigs going on. So all the best to Mr. Jorge Masvidal. And I'm seeing a little bit of hate for Jorge in the comments. However, I picked against him in all those fights he lost. So we kind of knew I was never under any spell. I had a good impression of who Jorge was. But he was able to cash out. I mean, look at it from his perspective. Those fights with Usman, that fight with Colby, these headliner fights, he made tons of money. He could retire now. It's kind of what you want at that stage of your career. He was able to cash out. Good for him.
And turn Miami into a yearly hub of mixed martial.
You heard Dana, huh?
Bro,
yeah, they did better numbers than Madison Square Garden. So, I mean, hey, it's all those Ron DeSantis, Freedom, Florida people, okay, just moving from every other fucking place to Florida. AJ, you see more people on the streets, bro?
Bro, buildings popping up everywhere, apartments, dude. Florida is growing fast. It's like the new California now. Mike Finch is moving out here, bro. He's gonna be over in Miami. Yo, I actually think if the UFC is making annual stops to Miami, like I might have to make the trip for one of the pay-per-views. To me, like I missed this one, but if it's gonna be a consistent thing, I feel like that would be a treat for myself. I do that as a tradition once a year. Go to every UFC Miami card. I'm honestly like considering that as like a real possibility. If they're coming to Miami again next year and it's another pay-per-view card, I'm going to be like, you know what? I give myself a vacation day. We'll fucking go to Miami for that shit. And I'd show up to the weigh-ins too. I'd go to everything if possible, dude. I want to get the full experience.
If you're a hardcore fight fan, that's how you
go to the presser. I would try to get the media pass, but I don't know if they give it to me or not because I know UFC's a little strict with it.
I would not be surprised, man. I was covering UFC events as media back when I was 18 years old, just writing for Chicago's MMA, very small MMA websites. And I was able to go in there and, I interviewed Chael Sonnen before he fought Michael Bisping. Getting like direct access to everybody too. That was back in the day. Be interesting to see now where they're at. But you got a nice little channel going here, AJ. You got your own little AJ army. I can expect that they would benefit from the presence of the great AJ DeVito.
I appreciate that, man. I think I do a beautiful job out there. I'd have a blast for myself, man. Now, as far as this card as a whole, I want to talk about implications for what's next a little bit. We're at the co-main event, so we'll start with it. Obviously, we know Masvidal retires from the sport. Burns versus who? He said he wants title fight. He's in an interesting spot.
To be the backup. You heard what he said? He's like, I'll be the backup.
Dana said yes. Dana said yes.
Yeah, but Gilbert, that's not like, I'm going to be the backup. Like, are you proud of that, dog? Like, what are you saying, bro?
I think he's locked in a title shot if he's the backup, he feels, because he went out of his way, made the weight. Because if you're looking at recent history, look at the backup. Volkanovski, backup for Oliveira versus Makhachev, fights Makhachev next time out. Look at Colby Covington, backup for Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. Now he's fighting fighting Leon next time. So I don't know. I think that's kind of the new thing. They put him in.
You ever hear what Conor McGregor said about being the backup? He was like, I don't back up nobody. I don't back up nobody, mate. He like, it's like, you're the backup. I don't know. You're the B team. Should they go to Austin, Texas and train with Craig Jones? I don't understand. I think, I think getting granted your title shot from just straight up earning it and not having to do any sort of, extra weigh-ins, it makes a lot of sense as well. So this backup thing is interesting anyway. I don't know. Gilbert Burns, humble guy, happy to be the backup. Just interesting. Just thought I'd note that because you'll never see a superstar pay-per-view draw as the backup.
I guess Volkanovski was the backup once, though. I guess he's not a super. He's a GOAT, though. He's a GOAT.
And it's for the lightweight title. It's not his weight class.
Upper weight class. You're right.
Circumstances. So yeah, I would never expect, John Jones to be a backup for somebody. I don't know. No. So just an interesting move from Gilbert. But I guess, it's a little crowded there at 170. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
I think Burns versus the winner of Colby and Leon is a possibility, but then sits Bilal Muhammad kind of out in a rough spot, whereas he doesn't want to fight anybody behind him. So he's like, no, I don't want to fight Shavkat. Dana White in the UFC really want him to fight Shavkat because of the reason that if Shavkat beats him, now you have this boogeyman contender on the come up from Kazakhstan, or on the opposite side, Belal beat the boogeyman. So I feel like for Bilal's situation, it's like a very high risk fight against Shavkat. Or do they do Burns versus Belal? Because that is a very logical number one contender fight, in my opinion. Usman versus Shavkat, but then there's a real chance that Kamaru Usman is done from the title picture, losing that fight. So weird situations. I don't know. Belal versus Usman, and then Burns is kind of in no man's land. Does he fight Shavkat next? I don't know.
I thought Belal versus you just said his name so many times. Shavkat Rakhmonov. I thought that was made.
No, they thought it was too, but no, it's not. It's not.
Dana lied to us.
It was, I guess he jumped the gun. He wanted it made, but I think Belal didn't want it. I mean, for a good reason though. Risky fight, less name value.
After Dana had announced that, I saw Belal was at UFC headquarters, talked to Dana and everything, posted some nice stuff about Dana. So I wonder if he found his way out of that fight there. I don't know. Interesting, though. Yeah, I think Belal versus Gilbert would be the most fun. Like if I could just play matchmaker, and if Colby is for sure getting the title shot, yeah, that'd be the fight I want to see.
That's the number one contender fight, 100%. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool to see either one of them getting a shot. And then Colby versus Leon, whatever happens with that. Masvidal, we know where he's at. He's gone, retired, and we got to jump to the main event. I want to talk about Pereira Adesanya. Go.
I've got to see Belal versus Colby Covington. Too much shit talk, too much bad blood. I got to see it at some point, please.
I have a weird feeling it never happens. I'll tell you that.
Dana don't want people fighting no more. You saw him at the press conference. Don't ask that question. I don't want Jorge Masvidal. I think Kevin Holland.
He said he doesn't want a riot, bro, because of that Hamzat situation with Diaz.
Is this the fight game? Is this the fucking fight game?
It's the MMA fight game. We fight in the cage. We don't want violence outside of it. That's what it is.
Really?
I mean, it gets
so when
clicks.
Rampage ripped off the door at the Ultimate Fighter,
that was one of the best.
That wasn't good for views. Yeah. Come on. When Conor McGregor threw the fucking dolly through the bus and they used that as the entire promo for the biggest UFC event in MMA history, that didn't help build. And I understand that those are the fights that ended up being made, but come on, man. It's all part of the game. And to shut down journalists, to be like, hey, don't ask that question. Next question. Don't answer that. I'm just like, I think we're getting away from the, we're getting away from the buzz part that makes this also fun.
Can I guess why? Because Dana knew Masvidal was probably calling it after a loss, and he didn't even want to risk a scuffle, which is not going to actually, lead to them fighting. It could potentially cause like someone to pull out. So I think it was circumstantial. I feel like there'll be that type of shit in other situations that, it is all good. But yeah, this one, I don't know. It just seemed like it was more of a concern about a fight breaking out, specifically for two guys that maybe Dana already knew Masvidal was retiring, doesn't even want to risk anything happening because then it could fuck the card up. I don't know. Or Miami's crazy. I don't know.
Got you. Main event.
Pereira.
Whoa, Izzy got it back.
Izzy got it. Izzy got it more than back. He got it back and some. Not only does he get it back, he also goes to Pereira's son, points at him, and does the drop. And
is that real? Was it actually
my favorite? I loved it. I loved it, bro. I said that is 100%, bro. That was dope because what Pereira's son, he said, I was mocking him. Years later, they did the interview with Pereira's son. Yeah, like I did it to troll him, whatever, or something like that. And I definitely know Adesanya saw that clip and he was excited to have his moment. He points at him and falls over. Dude, to me, that was round of applause. That was some Oscar winning shit. Like I was so impressed by Adesanya's post-fight speech to the reaction. Even though I didn't pick Adesanya in the fight, like I can be happy losing a pick to see Adesanya look like an all-time great. I really feel like that's badass to pull off.
Nobody's talking about this, but I'll be happy to. Yes. Alex Pereira was kind of kicking his ass, dude. His legs were getting chopped up. If you guys watch Izzy after the celebration with the bows and everything, he's over by his corner and he's limping around, dude. I mean, his legs were busted up. He was getting backed up again. He was getting busted up with those left hooks when he got the knockout, and he was almost immobilized. I mean, his back was on the fence, I think if anything, Alex Pereira can learn to just chill. He was going too hard on the gas pedal, beating up on Izzy. Had he laid off that gas pedal, kept him at range, kept chopping that leg for another round or two, I think it could have been a pretty damn dominant performance from Alex Pereira. A lot of people like Daniel Cormier were saying that Israel Adesanya had to grapple, that the only way he was going to win to grapple. Well, I've been telling you guys every single time Pereira fights, he seems like a sucker for an overhand right. The way he stands up straight and the way he doesn't move like a boxer. Like as soon as Izzy hit him with the first right hand, it rocked his head and he comes right back up tall. It's like you want to weave under a shot. You want to slip. You want to bend your knees. You want to roll. He wasn't doing any of that stuff. He's standing there like a kickboxer with his head straight up in the air, and you don't have a big-ass glove to protect you. You can get over that little 4-ounce glove. You can get to the jaw. It took Izzy 2 overhand rights to put him out. Actually, a very similar shot he hit him with when he dropped him the first time in the first UFC fight that they had. I guess their 3rd fight overall. That was their 4th. So, yeah, beautiful knockout for Izzy. Somebody had to do it to him. It won't be the last time either unless he shores up that stance, because the dude stands straight up like a flagpole.
I think that he's going to do better at 205.
Is he going to 205 though? Is this legit?
Dana's saying it, and I also am pro doing that because I think the durability drops because he can make 85, but his punch durability, I think, drops. I mean, not saying Adesanya didn't hit him with a dynamite shot, but I feel like an Alex Pereira at 205 could eat that type of big punch and keep coming back, and that would be terrifying. Can you imagine a scenario where Yuri Prochazka dethrones Jamal Hill and we got Prochazka Pereira for the light heavyweight belt in one of the craziest fights ever? I feel like that would be dope. So I think Pereira is in an interesting spot where, because of the hype on him, because of the style, and because of the landscape of light heavyweight, where really there, besides Yuri Prochazka, is no other strong contender in the woodwork, Alex Pereira could weasel his way into a title shot there. Magomed and Ankalaev shit the bed last time out after the draw with Jan, and also the post-fight speech killed him. The UFC doesn't want to see him wearing the belt, so they're going to do other matchups. Magomed and Ankalaev is in a shit spot at this point. I am very interested in the potential of Pereira at 205.
205 kind of needs him, huh? So they bring Hamzat from 70 up to 85. Yeah. They bring Pereira from 85 up to 205. They're kind of just like stacking there's too much talent down here. They keep pushing them all the way up. We got a $20 dono.
Throw it up. Read it, Mike. Thank you, Lou.
To see yours truly call these pay-per-views with you. Well, they need to fly us out to Miami so we could go cage side. Lou, we're trying to go cage side. Lou, I want some blood on my notes in front of me. That's how close I want to be to that cage when I call fights. That would be great. I bring a different perspective with much experience. Thank you so much, brother.
Much love, Lou. Thank you, brother.
$20 US. Those are
Lou, dude. Lou's the Mac.
Lou's a good man. We really appreciate that. That really makes a difference for me. Thank you so much, my friend. And appreciate all donos, but $20, that is generous, my friend. All right. You want to see me on the lives? I guess we got to do it for Lou. Are we going to do it for Lou?
We'll do it for Lou. We'll do it one of these weeks, man. We got to get the right fight. Maybe I bring you in for your boy Cejudo to fight. That would be the one.
Oh, I like that.
That would be the one.
I like that. I think that might work.
Yeah, that's the one, because I want to see your reaction to Cejudo and fucking Sterling. I have no official pick for that at all. I'm just fucking hyped as hell to see the crossover style matchup,
Perfect. And we'll give Lou a shout out. And let me give one other listener a shout out. We had I said I can't edit videos. I get hit up. And one of our great listeners decided to edit some of my videos. So Michael Hudon, appreciate it. And he edited the entire Randy Field interview up on my Instagram page. And just huge shout out. He's like, oh, I'm just a fan and I want to help out, dude. So sick. I mean, some of you guys who tune in, I just appreciate you guys so much, because it's nothing but love and good energy. And how could you not appreciate that? So thank you, Michael Hudon. And he did a great job with it, man.
Yeah, that's tremendous, bro. Shout out to Mike, bro. That's fucking dope. Dude, Adesanya, though, I want to get back to him, okay?
He comes back and he wins, but he was getting beat up, dude. Why is nobody talking about that? Everybody's just talking about the KO. Adesanya was getting worked.
Ali versus Foreman, we don't need to talk about the fact he was getting hit. He won the fight, This is my mindset, though, with Adesanya now. I can't think of anyone at 185 pounds in the rankings right now that beats him. that upper echelon contender spot. The guy who would intrigue me the most of a matchup lost to Marvin Vettori, Roman Dolidze, because that's an interesting fight. He's out of it now. So we're in a weird spot where he's ran through Marvin Vettori, Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa. Now the name that I think you're going to hear potentially fighting for a belt is Khamzat, but I think he needs one win at 85. So now I'm hearing him and Paulo Costa might be throwing down unofficial. So that would be a good idea. Winner of that fight for the belt. Worst case, we get Adesanya Paulo too. I don't think anybody's complaining at that fight.
Yeah, I know. And come on. Paulo Costa re-signing with the UFC was good news. Like, it's just great to have Paulo Costa in the mix, right? I love it. Paulo Costa, and dude, he's a big boy. Paulo Costa, I feel like could fight at any weight class, bro. When I was standing next to him, he looked like a heavyweight.
Really?
You know, I got to hang out with him a little bit when he came to do the liver challenge against Liver King. And man, all on my YouTube channel. He is a fucking big dude, and he hits so hard, man. He's so much bigger than Khamzat. It's strange to see Khamzat come up and fight Paulo Costa. It doesn't feel fair to me. All right, top few here. Izzy Adesanya, Robert Whittaker. I mean, come on, we can see that fight every weekend. Marvin Vettori, Jared Cannonier, Paulo Costa, Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland.
Dricus is going to be the guy, too. He's close because they got beef now after the Africa situation.
I'm all in on after that. He said that shit?
Yeah.
He said he's not legit?
Yeah, I'm in on that, bro. Yes, please. Give me that one. I think that Adesanya's hardest matchup is Pereira, always. And let's be honest, I don't think the UFC is all that interested in a trilogy right now. Like I said, they want Pereira at 205. They want dream scenario. Pereira captures the belt there, and then Adesanya jumps up, fights Pereira in a trilogy for the belt at 205. That is the UFC dream scenario. And honestly, I think that would be just badass. But there's a lot of obstacles. I mean, mostly on the side of Pereira needing to beat either a Jamal Hill or maybe a Yuri Prochazka, both guys of which are very fucking hard matchups, because they could surprise you with also bringing the fight to the mat. That's something that, like we saw, we don't know anything. We don't know enough. Now, I believe he's improved his grappling. I think that the UFC has Pereira at a point where I don't want to say he's a superstar, but he's a very popular star. He's a star. He's on that star power list. I don't think they're going to give him a terrible matchup. You don't give Pereira Magomed Ankalaev.
I don't think that makes sense. Lose.
No, there's no reason. Stay off that fight. I feel as though you give him a striker, and 205, there's a striker at the top, Jamal Hill. If Prochazka is not ready, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill is such a dope fight. I would love to see it. I'd be all in for it because there's no other contender. And if Pereira wins that fight, him and Adesanya 3 for a world title up a weight class, that's like legacy shit. That's one of the greatest rivalries ever. That'd be insane, honestly. I'd be all in on that. If Adesanya moved up and then Pereira and him, holy shit, man.
You like that?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, seeing them not have to cut weight, I think you know, just giving Pereira a little more power, like holy shit. Pereira does this thing where he throws multiple shots with his left hand, and he doesn't bring it back. Like, you know, normally in boxing, you throw and you bring it back, right? He'll throw it and he'll leave it out there, and that's why Izzy's coming over the top. If he shores up a couple things, I think he could beat Izzy again, man.
I think he got reckless, though, like you said. I think that but I'll be honest, as Izzy was covering up, I'm like, no way, Pereira's getting him out of there in the second round. Yeah. And then boom,
that's what Pereira
boom, bro. Oh my gosh. Adesanya. Beautiful work by Izzy. It's so badass to see him win. It's just good for the sport, I think, and good for the UFC as a business to have Adesanya as champion, because the UFC Africa card could be huge. That is so crazy to me. If you get Adesanya, imagine you do Dricus du Plessis Adesanya in Africa. Holy shit, man. If that lines up, bro, du Plessis needs one win. He needs one win, and that's Sean Strickland and him got to be the fight.
And then we'll see who Africa's really rooting for.
That would be interesting. I think I think there'd be a huge like divide. You know, South Africa would be all for Dricus, and then anywhere else in Africa, I think would be on Team Izzy for sure.
Yeah, we'd have to see where they put it in Africa too. That would make sense. Interesting fight for sure. I like Izzy a very early lean on that matchup, but Izzy back taking the throne, man, and it was a fun fight, dude. Anybody who tuned in, it was a fun fight. You gotta love it. And those are fights that are just gonna end in knockout. Izzy versus Alex. Alex is gonna come get him, and then Izzy's gonna try to fire back. It's just a beautiful matchup, man. It's only gonna be fun, So, and if Alex learns his lesson here, they could fight a couple times a year and just keep it going, and I'd be happy. But did you hear what Izzy said afterwards? He's like, I ain't fighting him again. That was the last one.
I don't think he really said that.
That's what he said afterwards. He said
one and done. One and done.
Yeah, what was it, the post-fight interview or was it the press conference? At least he ain't doing it next.
He said not next for sure, though. He thinks that Pereira should earn his keep to get that shot again, saying that, he gave Pereira a shot probably a little bit prematurely, just only a win over Strickland, and then for him to win and then obviously do another one. I kind of get it. I get what Izzy's saying. He has a long history at the top. MMA
Tubby, also known as Mason, Mike Finch, how happy were you Izzy taunted Pereira's son? First of all, was his son actually cage side? Is that really what happened?
Dude, yeah. It's pretty.
That is really what
awesome.
happened.
I love it.
All right. So then that's hilarious. I mean, happy? No, it's not that I was happy. If anything, I was like, damn, that's a lot to taunt a child. Like, how young are we talking, bro?
I think he's 14, 15.
He's
14, old enough.
15, I guess. I mean, I don't I don't make it a habit to pick on kids. Like, I don't know. But I guess that little kid when he was like 5 years old got Izzy pretty bad, right? With that one.
Yeah, so he did.
I've seen that one on video too. I was like, damn, Alex, like, get a hold of your kid, bro. You guys are really ripping this dude up that bad, huh? It's like when Tito beats people, you guys got to dig him a grave and he takes the body and he drags it. It's like, okay, guys, I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest, MMA Tubby. I'll think about that one.
I have a very hard take on it. I am very pro. Yeah, bro. Oh, fuck yes.
I'll go anti.
Listen, he went on the side of fucking trolling Adesanya, a warrior inside of the ring that your father knocked out. A lot was on the line, and your son's going making fun of him. Oh, you got knocked out. And then Adesanya, years later, earns it back, flatlines the father, fucking points to him, bro, and shows him, yeah, I got you. Because at the end of the day, yeah, he's a kid, but one day he'll be a man, and he's got to learn. Sometimes that shit fucking comes back. 100%. 100% I support Adesanya's move. I'm all on that side.
I'm about taking the high road, folks. Take the high road, folks. Cam and Ryder. Excuse me. I just messed it up. There was a good one here. Imagine, Buffo on the beat. Imagine if Leon taunted Kamaru Usman's daughter after that kick.
I couldn't imagine that. No. Different rivalry, man. Very different rivalry.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's leave the kids out of this, AJ. I don't know.
Nah, listen. I love how people get offended by Tron when these guys beat the shit out of each other in a steel cage. They're going to war. Now, I think, you know what the truth is? Pereira's son should never have taunted a fucking fighter after the fight, after he was brutally knocked out. Because to me,
5, bro,
dude,
he was 5. He just shit himself.
He was
earlier.
7. Nah. It's class. It's respect. He had no respect for Adesanya, and years later, he still was laughing about it. For Adesanya, he lost a lot.
I didn't know that. I'm not like YouTubing what Alex Pereira's kid is saying. I have no idea.
It's a viral clip, bro. And to me, I'm all Team Izzy all the way. 100%. I picked Pereira to win. I love Pereira, but his son got what was deserved, bro. Listen, he can deal with that. He'll get over it. And then if they do it again, I expect Pereira's son to, if Pereira's son, I think fair game. I think fair game now. Yeah, I'm in on that.
Fair game. All right. Yeah. Izzy's back. Good for him. But don't forget, folks, he didn't come out there and dominate Alex Pereira. Like, for whatever reason, I have never heard anybody say it. Alex Pereira was busting his legs up. I don't know how many calf kicks he landed, but it was a lot. Yes. And Izzy was definitely feeling it. And it was a great fight, man. Very, very, all-time impressive KO. Like, that was, he put him out this time. Remember last time he hit him, and on the second one, I think it was a hook he hit him with and had a little stumble. This time he hit him, Alex Pereira's head pops back up, and then he coffins him. Very impressive.
Fucking flattened him out. Mike, you know what time it is? It's time.
It's time to call these fist fights,
go.
folks.
Let's go. I'm curious how we're lining up this week. Last week we agreed on a lot. Both of us got kind of kicked in the face like fucking Vitor style. You know what I'm saying? Prime
Ignacio
shit.
Bahamondes came through
That
with
was
it.
dope though. He's a
Gilbert
freak.
Burns came through with it.
Yeah.
So the
Main card was good.
The two that I actually bet on myself came through. I was happy about that. Yanez, I mean, wow. Good for that was interesting. But no, come on, it was a fun card. I had a good time.
Yes, it was a dope card. Listen, this card I think also brings the heat. First fight of the night, we got Joselyne Edwards versus Lucie Pudilová, and I'll be honest, I feel like Lucie got screwed over by this picture. I actually feel bad for her. I'm roasting my own picture. I saw it and I said, dude, she doesn't really look like that. She looks scary. That's the worst lighting, worst angle. I feel bad for her. Unfortunately, because of that picture, I got to just go the other way. I'm going to go Joselyne Edwards on a competitive decision to beat Pudilová here, man. It's more about I haven't seen that level necessarily. If I don't want to say UFC level, I mean, she has fights there and she's at the level to be in the UFC. But I feel like Joselyne Edwards is pretty quick, a little bit tricky with the kickboxing and also more athletic. The question mark is going to lie upon for me is can Pudilová get it to the ground? And if she does, can she keep it there? Exactly. I'm going to ride the Edwards side, dog money, women's fight. But I wouldn't recommend you go bet on Joselyne Edwards just because she's plus money. It's the first fight of the night, female fight. I'm taking a break from betting on any first fights of the night, man, because I got fucked up.
But but who said that? I think it was it Daniel Cormier saying that, who was like, why would you bet on a preliminary fighter when you don't have enough of a track record to really go off of? And sometimes that is true and sometimes it's not. Pudilová was hitting nice takedowns on Wu Yanan. My issue here is Joselyne Edwards fought Ramona Pascual at 145. She's big, she's strong, so it's really a question of whether or not she hits those takedowns for me. I think Edwards is a little better on the feet, nothing crazy, nothing that I'm really sweating like she's going to knock her out or something. But Pudilová, you being a mixed martial artist, is why I'm leaning towards her. But yeah. I could see Edwards stuffing her. I mean, this is probably a pretty close fight. Could see a split decision happening here. Certainly going to keep my money in my wallet, but let's go Pudilová decision.
Respect on the opposite side, bro. I do not blame you for that call at all. The odds are minus 135 for Pudilová, Edwards plus 115. I'll tell you this. I would call, if I had to bet something on this fight, it's over 2.5 rounds. I think they're going the distance, and that could be a good play to consider.
I like that. And we got to talk about that more often. Yes, over 2.5 for this one. Cheers to that.
Cheers to the over 2.5. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, Mike Finch, your boy from Bellator, is fighting in the UFC now. We got Gaston Bolaños versus Aaron Phillips. I am picking the Bolaños side to get a KO, but I won't lie to you. There's a little bit of concern. I'm like, he went 6-3 on Bellator, and it was a lot of prelim fights. The ground game is a big question mark. But then I look at a guy in Phillips who hasn't fought in over 2 years. Lost, granted, was to Jack Shore, but never has won inside of the octagon either. I know for a fact Bolaños is a guy they're, using to build, right? A marketplace. He's a Spanish fighter, very good kickboxer, fun style. There's a lot you can do with him if he's victorious here. And I think that Phillips is being used as the opponent. Yes, there's been times where, that fucking backfires. This situation here, I can't pick Phillips. I'm going to go Bolaños by KO in this one.
Yeah, let's go Bolaños. I don't know about KO. I mean, I guess they're going to strike it out, right? Phillips has got some good kicks, dude. He kicks hard, man, to the legs, to the body. And then Gaston Bolaños, also a pro Muay Thai fighter, a guy who's definitely willing to go toe-to-toe. So it should be a fun one. Will it be a KO? I don't know. I do think they'll strike. And I do think Gaston Bolaños should have an advantage there. It's just the style he's seen very often. But Phillips, he's going to hurt him with some of these kicks. I mean, Phillips kicks like he's got a baseball bat in his leg. But Gaston Bolaños should be pretty comfortable with it. I'll take him on the cards.
Bolaños on the cards by Finch. Both of us on Bolaños, though.
Yeah.
And I feel like at minus 180, not a terrible tag for him. But, like Cormier said, he's a prelim guy. He's not a ton of highest level experience. But he does have a win over Daniel Carey. Granted, he lost the first time they fought. Still a W. Looking at betting odds at minus 180 for Bolaños, plus 170 Phillips. Bolaños by knockout. What is that? Just plus 115. That's not calling my name. I could see the under 2.5 at minus 140 being a good play. I have a feeling this thing's not going distance. I know Mike is thinking it's going longer here. I kind of think a finish on this one.
So Gaston puts him out with his hands?
I think Gaston could catch him, man. But I do know Phillips is not an easy customer, so I don't think I'm actually going to bet that thing. I don't know. We'll see after weigh-ins, but
Gaston is a finisher for sure. Gaston is definitely
all KOs, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I respect it. I see what you're saying. I'm looking at the record. I'm surprised how many finishes Aaron Phillips has too. I just remember his decision with Devontae, but yeah, he's got a bunch of finishes here. Interesting. Yeah, I got fucked up by Jack Shore. That's right. He hasn't fought in a minute, dude.
Yeah, good time. I don't like that. Bro. I don't like that at all. Then you're fighting a guy who I think's hungry on the come up. Dangerous, man.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I'm not gonna flip flop like that, but interesting call on the under 2.5 there. Ballsy, AJ, ballsy.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Next fight on the card, we got Bruna, Brazil taking on Denise Gomes. I'm going against the grain. I'm going for Gomes in this fight. I think she's a scrappy girl. The women's fights, these dogs are fucking calling my name, especially this one. Reason being is I look at Bruna Brazil. I see a clean kickboxing style. I see a girl with a little bit of that, even I would say karate flow. You can see the traditional martial arts in her background, and she's good. But my question is going to be, when you fight a girl with the tough Muay Thai style of a Gomes with good grappling, and also the UFC loss to Loma Lukbume, I feel like that's great experience at 23. I'm wondering how Brazil is going to do when it gets dirty. I think Gomes makes it a nasty fight when she's inside, ripping shots, when she's looking to get it to the ground, when shit gets a little bit reckless. I think Brazil does great when she has a calculated pace and kind of controls the action. I don't think Gomes does that. I don't think she lets her do that. So I'm going to go Gomes to get the win. I think Gomes is going to pull this one out in an upset. I'm going to ride with her, brother.
I just wish that Gomes had better wrestling, because even in the Loma Lukbume fight, she was getting taken down by the Muay Thai fighter. She would just find a way to reverse. She was sweeping her. She was attacking a leg lock to come up to the body. She was getting sweeps where, Lukbume, I think, missed her back, and she was able to pop out the back door and get to the top position. And then she did some good work from the top position there, but she wasn't really getting it off of takedowns, which I would really like to see, especially since Brasil kicks so much, bro. If you look at her stats, she'll throw 4 kicks for every 1 punch she throws, right? Crazy, super high percentage on her kicking, and she fights like a Tekken character. I mean, she fights with her hands forward like the old Irish boxing, right? The old I mean, it's like bizarre. You're like, why doesn't somebody just hit her with a question mark kick, fake to the body a couple times and then come over the top and hit her in the head, because she's a total sucker for it. She's not blocking her head at all. She's only using distance, like she's in like a Taekwondo point karate tournament. Very strange. So I want to fade her just for that. To be honest, not one I'm personally betting on, but I'll double up with you on Gomes. I do think that she has the ability to overwhelm her on the ground. It's just she's got to get it there, and I can't bet that she will.
So it's plus 180 for Gomes, and then Brazil sitting at minus 195. Yeah, I'm going to go Gomes to get it done. I think Moneyline dog Gomes. I'm not craving the over 2.5 nearly as much at minus 200, but I do think it could happen.
How will it end? If it ends, how will it end? I don't see either of these girls finishing the other one.
I think it'd be hard, but there is like a worry in the back of my mind that somebody could get clipped, put out. I don't know. It's a lower level women's fight, maybe like a club. I'm not saying it's going to happen, man. I don't know, that over for some reason, I just feel like is more of a concern with like, I don't want to say they're not unknowns. We've seen them fight. It's just, they're not, I guess as much at the higher level. Like even Pudilová Edwards, they're back end girls, but they got a good amount of, UFC experience we've seen at this point. So that would be more the concern. Over 2.5, some weird shit happens. But I mean, if Gomes can go long with Lukbume, I would say it'd be difficult for Brazil to finish her, even if Brazil is going to win the fight. So over 2.5, maybe that is the play, man. Now you're starting to sell me on it, because I was picking Gomes by decision, but if you're on Brazil, you're probably picking her by decision too. So
you know what I mean? I don't. Their weapons aren't sharp enough to kill the other person. That's what I'm seeing.
No, I feel that. Now that you're saying that, Over 2.5 might be a sneaky play, Mike. You're selling me on it here at minus 200. Dog money. I guess what happens is if I'm picking dog and I see big plus, the over 2.5, I get less enticed by at minus 200. But if I was picking Brazil at minus 195, over 2.5 at minus 100 would be like, hey, that's close. That's good.
Yeah, and Brazil did finish her last fight by head kick knockout. Just something to say.
Yeah, she's got finishing ability. She's got some. We'll find out when these girls throw down. I like the dog. Mike Finch likes the dog, less of the bet. We'll see what happens, with the betting side. I'd wait till weigh-ins, and we'll talk about that more throughout the week with the Gomes betting side. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we got Lando Vannata versus Daniel Zellhuber. I'm picking Zellhuber, and how I'm seeing this fight is, the distance kickboxing over Vannata, who's in my opinion, never consistent. He's got good abilities. He decided to drop to 45, but he's jumping up to 55 for this matchup now. He's fighting a young kickboxer that's good from range, that's snappy with his kicks. And I also feel like super young, so you're going to see consistent improvements with Zellhuber. And I feel like, people look at, Trey Ogden beat him. Well, Trey Ogden, even though he lost to Ignacio Bahamondes, he's not a bad fighter. He's a guy that's just, he's able to get these hard-fought decision wins. Like, he's one of those guys that's like right there. Zellhuber at this point is, improving. He's got a win over Lucas Almeida as well, which is something that I don't think anybody should sleep on. Almeida's a dangerous guy. Granted, at flyweight, still dangerous. Vannata coming up from featherweight rather. I'm going to pick the side of Zellhuber. I look at Vannata as a guy who at one point we thought really had some goods, and now he's just a fun guy to watch, man. He's a fun style that I think Zellhuber will find a hard-fought decision win over.
Yeah, Lando really burst onto the scene with that initial short notice fight against El Cucuy, back when El Cucuy was in his prime, back when that Khabib fight was trying to get made. It's been a long time since then, man. And this kid, Zellhuber, is big, tall, long, powerful, dude, and can fight out of both stances. I think he's got a lot of weapons on the feet. So I see what you're seeing as well, man. I think Zellhuber could maybe get a knockout here, bro. I could see Zellhuber potentially putting, Lando Vannata away in like a fun fight. You could imagine a nice bonus for this fight. So yeah, give me Zellhuber with like a second or third round KO. I do think that size will come into play. Lando Vannata, definitely the veteran here. So something to look at. Zellhuber's still pretty green, but on the feet, man, he's got some tools. He's a big kid too. Lando Vannata is going to be at a serious disadvantage in that regard.
Yeah, I think the size differential will be too much to overcome too, alongside of speed and skill. Minus 120 Zellhuber, close money, plus 100 Vannata. Value-wise, Zellhuber, he's got a real shot here. It's good money. And Vannata's just, I've always liked Vannata, but he just can't turn that corner. And now they throw him a guy that I think stylistically is a very bad matchup for him. And there's also an 8-year age discrepancy between the two. So it tells you that, even at 31, we can't say Vannata's not in his prime. It's just, I think Zellhuber has the higher ceiling than Vannata's level has ever been. So I'm going to go with Zellhuber.
Even odds, guys. So yeah, have fun with this one. If Vannata wins, I think it's an MMA fight. He's got to mix it up.
Yes.
He's got to hit some takedowns. He's got to make this shit interesting. If he just stands on the outside, I think he's getting fucked up.
I think it could look like Bahamondes versus Ogden. It could look similar to that with this matchup here. That's kind of how kickboxing them.
And Ogden just came off of that win, right?
Right.
Over Zellhuber. So interesting fight. I think it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. We're going Zellhuber, the value minus 120 line. Let's keep jumping up. Next fight on the card, we got Piera Rodriguez versus Gillian Robertson. Gillian has been improving a lot, and I see the win over Rose Namajunas in grappling, and I'm like, yo, that's badass. Am I being swayed by the 9-0 record of Piera Rodriguez? That's something that I'm asking myself. She's still pretty decent. I guess I underrate Sam Hughes, but Sam is super resilient, and that's the last win for Rodriguez. Robertson's been in there against some high-level girls. Like, as I'm saying this, I'm like talking myself, on the opposite side. I picked Rodriguez already, though, but it's like this is a fight that I'm coming back to, and I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, Robertson could be very live in this matchup. This is at 115 as well. She was at 125. What do you think, Mike? Do you think Robertson could turn it around? She's still young, even though she's accrued a good amount of losses.
I could see like a comeback submission victory for Robertson, but I do think she'll get mostly dominated in this fight. I mean, big victory over Sam Hughes, the Kay Hansen win also pretty notable. Piera Rodriguez is a better striker than Gillian Robertson, so I do think she'll kind of control the fight on the feet, and it's really going to be up to Robertson to get the jiu-jitsu going, to get some scrambles going, attacks, So yeah, Robertson's game, and I see what you're seeing, that she's getting better. But I don't think the odds are actually very wide here. I like Rodriguez in this fight.
Oh, you like the money line side here? Because
yeah, bro, it's not too wide.
No,
I mean,
it's not.
if I just told you straight up and you had no idea, 9-0 versus what is Gillian, 11-7,
minus
like,
300, bro.
Exactly.
And it's plus money for Piera Rodriguez now.
Stop.
Plus 110, bro. Plus
best women's bet on the card without a close second. Piera Rodriguez.
I think Piera Rodriguez plus money, bro. It's like the women's fights. It's like dog-sided as hell for me right now. And this one here, Piera Rodriguez is a plus money dog who also is proven. We've seen her with good performances in the octagon. I think, dude, Piera Rodriguez calling my name. I might have to back this dog right here. I'm very tempted to go do it right now, but we'll wait till after the show to do anything fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're going to go Piera Rodriguez decision for me and Finch. It's just, I do think Robertson's gotten better. And I guess my concern is, what if that jiu-jitsu really gets going? But I guess I got to remember, it was grappling with Rose Namajunas. Rose was forced to entangle into pure grappling with a Robertson, who otherwise she would be out striking and probably not taken down either, because it's not like Robertson is D1 wrestling.
Right. I mean, and that was, of course, Fury grappling or whatever they competed in. So, I mean, you had some striking in there. It's a lot different. Look, I think the problem will be the ability to decide where the fight takes place. Gillian Robertson would need to take Piera Rodriguez down. I think she's going to be the one on bottom. I think it's going to be tough for her to get that. Piera Rodriguez has full MMA skills, and every fight starts on the feet. So you got a 5-minute round. I don't know. I think she's going to be able to win a decision, even if the best Gillian Robertson shows up.
Let's go. Mike Finch and I both riding the side of Piera Rodriguez. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Jack Herman. Fucking, I'm thinking about Jack Hermanson. Yeah. Ed Herman versus Zak Cummings here in this fight. Dude, talk about
Zak Cummings, you mean Tyson Fury? Is that a picture of Tyson Fury?
That's
right
Gypsy
there?
King, actually. Yeah, these Tyson Fury has decided to cross over into MMA, and he's fighting at 205. He shrunk himself down by exactly a foot, so he's only 5'9" now. But Zak Cummings, though, listen, he's my pick in this fight over Ed Herman. Yes, he's, previously a welterweight, but he's also done well at middleweight, and Ed Herman, a previous middleweight too. That's where he did his work through, his early years. And Ed Herman, against Alonzo Menafield, he showed toughness as always, but he looks slow. I look at Zak Cummings. Yeah, he hasn't fought in over 2.5 years, but he looked good against Alessio Di Chirico. Nearly knocks him out at the bell. Then I hear this, though. Back injury Cummings was dealing with was so bad that he was bedridden for a certain period of time. But then I also say I don't think Zak Cummings is getting back into the cage rushed. I believe that he took a long time off to fully recover his body. And I do believe this is a guy that's putting in that work, man. I got to ride Zak Cummings to get the win. I think he beats Ed Herman on the cards. Hard-fought win.
Yeah, I could see that as well. So let me see. 2020. Last time he fought, and then has Ed been more active? He just had that fight with Alonzo Menafield, 2021. Not super active either, though. No. And we've seen Ed forever, man. I mean, Ed is 42 at this point, so something's got to give, right? And at 38, I think Zak Cummings has actually a lot less miles, although he's got a lot of experience too. But Ed Herman's been at the top of the game for a long time, man. Yeah, give me Zak Cummings in a decision. I think Ed Herman might get a little tired as we start showing that 42-year-old, 2 years of age. I like Cummings in this one as well.
Odds for it, Cummings is a strong favorite. He's sitting at around minus 225 and Herman at plus 190. So over 2-1 for the Zak Cummings side. Props here, they're just not calling my name, bro. Over 2.5, minus 175. I mean, I think they probably go long because both guys have notoriously good chins. But 42 years of age and then 38-year-old who hasn't fought in over 2.5 years, it just doesn't necessarily seem like a lock.
Somebody in the chat asking, J-Bit, didn't Ed beat Cummings already before? That was Patrick Cummings, dog.
Yeah. And that was a while ago, man. And that Patrick Cummings' career really shifted down, bro. I mean, win over Jan Blachowicz, and then, by on his way out, Ed Herman's beating him up.
Right. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Is that our Starbucks guy? Wasn't that Daniel Cormier's original opponent, right?
Yeah.
On the Rousey and McCann card. Yeah, I would McMahon, sorry. I would have to say that Ed Herman is a little old at this point, boys, and it ain't the right Cummings you got there. I think this Cummings beats him.
Agreed. We're riding with the same side. Zak Cummings win. You'll call decision with me. You think it probably goes long?
And that would make sense because I think he can sort of overwhelm Ed, get him tired, man. Ed's got a good guard. And the problem with having a good guard is you might rely on it. When the shit gets hard, you might go to your guard and like, all right, armbar or triangle. That's how I'm going to win this thing. I just don't think he gets it.
Yeah, I don't either, man, because both black belts on the mat too.
Yeah, let's go Cummins in the old man fight.
The old man fight. This one here, though, is prime contenders on the come up at flyweight. We have Matheus Nicolau versus Brandon Royval. I'm picking Matheus Nicolau to get this win, brother. I think Nicolau is going to beat him.
Bro, I don't know, man. They're both good. I'm a big Brandon Royval fan, dude.
He's good. But let me ask you this, bro. Hitability. Who's more hittable, Nicolau or Royval?
Nicolau doesn't fight as much as Brandon Royval, meaning Nicolau's on his bike. He's moving side to side.
Counter-striking. Royval frustrated. I think Royval gets caught. I'm thinking club and sub is live here. I look at the fight. Even Matt Schnell was able to touch up a Royval, whereas Nicolau ran over Matt Schnell.
Yeah. I guess MMA math works and age it. No, I'm just kidding.
MMA scenarios, bro. MMA scenarios.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a pretty impressive performance. That was hard to get out over Matt Schnell. God, Brandon Royval's got hands, but I see what you're saying. You're saying that Brandon Royval's trying to start the party. He misses the shots and gets countered. That's what you see.
The counter striking of Nicolau is really good. And even if he doesn't end up getting the KO, he's comfortable cruising to a decision, finding the better shots. And I do think on the ground, even though Royval is very good with his submissions, I think the better overall grappling, I'm going to favor towards Nicolau.
Damn. Yeah. Brandon Royval's nasty, very offensive on the ground too. You don't see him throwing up like a body triangle and holding nobody. Brandon Royval's going, man. Brandon Royval's trying to finish fights, and he normally does. I mean, look at his losses: Pantoja and Moreno, just the top of the division. Other than that, Bontorin, Kai Kara France, he choked. I mean, come on, man. He's right up there. He's one of the most dangerous guys that you can find. So yeah, at 125 pounds, these guys are just top of the world. I guess Nicolau, but I think it's such a good fight, man. Are you so confident you would bet on it? Because I think Brandon Royval could finish any of these guys at 125.
I think Nicolau's good, man. I think he's
all right.
I do think he's good.
I noticed that difference that you're saying, though, is that Nicolau decides when to fight, where Brandon Royval is fighting for 15 minutes nonstop.
Absolutely. I think that the way Nicolau fights, man, good counter-striking ability, I feel like it kind of falls into a good stylistic matchup for a guy that Royval gets frustrated, goes for it, then he gets caught. And I think Nicolau pulls it off, man. Nicolau for the W. He is a favorite, though. He's sitting at around minus 200, and then Royval at plus 175. So we got a bit of a wide line towards Nicolau. Nicolau by sub is plus 650. I don't know, club and sub, maybe. Big plus money. That's a Hail Mary, though.
I could imagine this fight ending because they're such savages, dude. Nicolau is much happier to go to a decision than Brandon Royval is. Brandon Royval has gone to a decision against Bontorin. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Chokes Matt Schnell. The fights with Moreno and Pantoja ended. Kai Kara France chokes him. Dude, the kid is dangerous on the ground. Brandon Royval could even catch a club and sub. AJ style. So him being a big underdog too, it's interesting to me. I'll stay away from betting on this one, but if I were to bet on this one, I think I might touch the dog, guys. I like Brandon Royval. He's very dangerous. He's very game. My friend Motaz Oscar trains with him and tells me how fucking sick he is. And I see it when he's out there, dude. He's super dangerous. So Nicolau's going to have his hands full. It's a good fight.
Let's go. Next fight on the card. It is between TJ Brown and Bill Algeo. I got to go the side of Bill Algeo over TJ Brown. But dude, like it's more of the with TJ Brown, I don't want to shit on him, but I'm always, doubting him, I guess, when it comes up to the fight. And then even in his loss to Shailan Nordenbeke, I was more impressed by that performance, what I saw. And I do think he's going to have a little bit of a strength edge over a Bill Algeo. But Algeo is so unorthodox, man. I like the weird stand-up that he has, especially when he's fighting a guy who, let's be honest, doesn't have the biggest punch on the other side, isn't a great finisher. TJ Brown, I think, needs to rely on landing takedowns, pressuring his opponent, and, grinding towards a hard-fought decision win. Algeo on the other side, also, fairly good at winning the decisions, but can find weirder shots. So I see a hard-fought competitive one, and I'm going to go the side of Bill Algeo to win it.
I could see Bill Algeo outstriking him, dude. Yeah, just taking his time on the feet. He can't end up on bottom in this fight. If TJ Brown's hitting takedowns, might be a live bet type scenario, because that's how he wins that fight. I think TJ Brown is definitely going to try to get these takedowns, use his black belt in jiu-jitsu from the top position. That would be his best method of victory. Bill Algeo, close decision, maybe 2 rounds out of 3, getting it done on the feet.
Let's go. Bill Algeo for both of us in this one. And as far as betting side on this matchup, Algeo is sitting at minus 200 actually, and then TJ Brown's at plus 175. So it's 2-1 line for Algeo. Over 2.5 minus 200. I have a feeling they're going long here. I don't hate that. I'll tell you that much. I don't hate that either. Algeo by a decision. What's that sitting at? Plus 165. It's not even calling my name. Not even calling it.
This fight's not calling my name.
The betting wise on this one, sit back, enjoy the featured prelim. There's more action. There's the main card, which we're about to jump to. Make sure you guys smash the likes and let's jump up to it. It's Rafa Garcia versus Clay Guida, the OG. I got to pick Rafa Garcia, man. 28 versus 41. I feel like Garcia's boxing is actually pretty solid. He takes a real good punch. He definitely can wrestle too. Clay Guida, fast output guy, kind of chaotic striking style. And overall, Clay Guida is a legend of the sport and is always incredibly durable. But it's got to go Garcia's way, in my opinion. Just complete crossroads matchup. And I think Rafa Garcia is a solid enough prospect. I think that his style matches up fairly well with Clay too, because he's good at mixing it up. He can sit in there, and I think he's going to hit Clay with harder punches than Clay hits him with. So I'm going to go with Rafa Garcia to win this thing, brother.
Can Rafa Garcia knock him out, though?
I'm thinking goes distance.
Because Rafa Garcia goes to decision a lot. Look, Clay Guida is the cardio machine, man. Clay Guida is the Energizer Bunny, hitting the drum on the battery commercials. I mean, that is Clay Guida, dude. He puts a pace on people and he breaks them down. And he could do it at 150 years old or however old he is right now. Let me see here. 41 years old. He's halfway to Joe Biden, man. He's getting up there, but I do think that it's going to be a competitive fight. The difference is the striking. I mean, Garcia should be able to put hands on him, put kicks on him, hurt him. I could imagine potentially a Garcia knockout. I could, but if you look at how often Garcia sees the scorecards, and Clay is known for his durability. Clay is known for his ability to take a shot and recover. And he'll shoot as many times as he needs to. So I bet it's kind of close. It sounds like you think it'll be a little wider than I do, but we're on the same side. I think you got to go with the person who's in their prime. You got to go with Garcia, but he better have good takedown defense on the cage.
Let's talk about the betting odds real quick. Garcia is a big favorite, minus 225. Clay Guida sitting at plus 210. But I do think it's going over 2.5 rounds at minus 200, man. I think it's going distance. This is an over 2.5 that I actually feel like I like a lot. The stylistic matchup of the two. Garcia, though, he can hit. He can box. Clay Guida's chin is never in question. And Clay, doesn't have huge power either. Garcia hits decent, but doesn't have that thud. He has more of a light pop. I think they're going distance, bro. Over 2.5 is a money play here. I think the over 2.5 is dynamite in this matchup.
That's sneaky. That's sneaky.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I like that.
Clay's head is made out of a brick. It's just it's marble. So
Yeah.
I could imagine him walking through those punches. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And if Michael Johnson hits him with good shots and can't get him out of there, probably Garcia can't as well. So that's a sneaky one.
Let's go. Rafa Garcia to win by decision.
Yeah, we'll go Garcia. Sorry, Clay. I've known Clay forever. I mean, the first time I ever met Clay Guida, he was cornering his brother at XFO Outdoor War, and his brother got hit in the nuts or something. Clay jumps the fence to go like protect his, like, hey, ref, they got hit in the nuts. I mean, I'm talking.
Did they DQ him?
I was a child, bro. What's that?
Did they give him a disqualification?
I'm like 12 years old. I can't even remember what happened,
shit,
bro.
okay.
But I do remember Clay jumping the fence because that was pretty cool.
Shit.
No, I don't remember what happened. It was pretty Wild West back in those days. I mean,
yeah.
I showed up to go fight with my buddy Robbie. My opponent doesn't show up, and then my buddy Robbie forgets his cup, so he duct taped my cup in his shorts. And then we get out there, and the referee's got alcohol on his breath because he was drinking. I mean, this is like Wild West days of MMA.
Yeah.
So shout out to Robbie Bach, a 1-0 amateur fighter. I would say the earliest memories would definitely be like Clay Guida. We're talking, I was like 13 years old, seeing him like have his first couple amateur fights and stuff for the XFL.
Holy shit.
So pretty cool to be here at 30 and still talking about Clay Guida fights.
Yeah, he's an OG, man. We're unfortunately going against him, but that over 2.5 is, I think, the good money. Clay will go long here. He's not getting finished off. Over 2.5 is a high
compliment to him at 41 that you could bet on the over. That's how fucking durable he is.
Yeah, he's a freak. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Chris Gutierrez versus Pedro Munhoz. Gutierrez is on a tremendous roll right now. And wow, does Pedro Munhoz not fall into a great stylistic matchup for him here? Because he's shorter than him. Gutierrez will control the range. He's going to rip him with low kicks. Yes, Munhoz has great low kicks too. But I think Gutierrez might be, winning the low kick battle at this point. Take into consideration, he moves really quickly. He's longer. He's the guy to win against Pedro Munhoz. I don't see Munhoz taking him out. I'm going with the side of Chris Gutierrez to get a unanimous decision. I don't think he puts the lights out of Pedro. I don't think he's going to put himself into risky position like that, nor do I think Pedro will either. I think it's a competitive kickboxing match that Gutierrez has the upper hand on for 3. I could see 30-27, so I'm going Gutierrez for the victory, man. Big win for him this weekend would elevate his stock tenfold.
100%. Yeah, Chris Gutierrez has to win this fight. If he's losing to Munhoz, he's not going to be moving up in the UFC. So I think Chris Gutierrez shows up, puts on a show. Does he finish him?
I think decision, dude. Yeah, distance.
Fuck that. I don't
Munhoz
know.
is notoriously durable, bro.
Yeah. Munhoz likes to see the scorecards unless he's getting eye poked by Sugar Sean, I guess. All right, Chris Gutierrez decision sounds good to me. If you guys want to bet that one, he is kind of a wide favorite, though. But yeah, coming off of the nice Frankie Edgar win, I mean, he's on a roll. And obviously, Pedro Munhoz had the adversity there with Sugar Sean, but lost to Dominic Cruz, lost to Jose Aldo. Those are like the best names at the top of the division. So, Chris Gutierrez, I think gets it done. And could he finish him? Yeah, double eye poke, AJ. W Chris Gutierrez, double eye poke. Boom.
That's a dangerous method of victory, bro. It's sitting at plus 1,000 for the double eye poke. Gutierrez is not that wide. He's minus 205, bro. It's not terrible.
All right, you're that confident in him. Okay.
Plus 180 on Munhoz. Hey, listen, it's not bad. Minus 205, not bad.
2022. Oh, that was the O'Malley fight. Never mind. Fought one.
Decision. Gutierrez by decision is what? Plus 130. It's expected to go distance. Yeah, pick is Chris Gutierrez. It would lean the money line if you're looking to bet it. The over 2.5. I don't think it's worth it here. I think that you're going to see Gutierrez beat a Pedro Munhoz. He's got a great style to fight a Pedro Munhoz. And then, you talk about also momentum in the sport, age in the sport, and stature. I mean, 5'9" to fucking 5'6". Both guys kickers. I like Gutierrez kicking and moving on him.
And Gutierrez on a 7-fight streak. It's like you normally see guys close to a title shot, and when they're on a 7-fight streak, you got to respect it. So I guess those odds make sense. Yeah, you could take Gutierrez striking him up on the feet.
Let's go. Chris Gutierrez to get it done. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we got Tanner Bozier jumping down. He's deciding, listen, I'm cutting. I'm going to 205. He's fighting Ion Cutelaba.
Let's go.
I'm going Bozier by KO, man. Cutelaba's a menace, bro. He's got good wrestling, but he's over-aggressive and he gasses out. Tanner Bozier has been in there with these big heavyweights. He's incredibly hard to finish. Don't forget, he lost to Cyril Gane by a decision. Rodrigo Nascimento lost last time out. Like, he's in there with these big, strong heavyweights, and he's able to go distance. Cutelaba, I feel like, doesn't have the gas tank. So unless he takes you down and bullies you in a round, a guy like Bozier is, I think, more adjusted to the strength. So I think Cutelaba's wrestling is actually not going to be as effective in a fight where Bozier's fighting these monster heavyweights for his entire career. This guy's been around the world fighting heavyweights. I think Bozier is going to get Cutelaba tired. It's going to be one hell round for Cutelaba. Bozier stops him in the second. TKO win. Bozier pieces him up with those hands. Pa, 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 pa. Puts them together. Cutelaba's covering up and done. Because Cutelaba will find ways out of fights when it stops going his way. There's always that moment where you see it with him. It flips. And I think that Bozier, helps him find his way out.
Fuck, tough words from you, AJ, especially because he is like the guy who gets in your face all crazy. He's the one who makes shit all insane. But you're right. You're right. When shit gets going tough for him, he has trouble coming back, and we've seen him wilt. Yeah, Tanner Bozier, I mean, a couple things to bring up about that. All those things you said are absolutely true, but heavyweights are also a little slower. Not Cyril Gane, but heavyweights are also a little slower. Cutelaba bringing kind of a higher punch count when he's throwing those power punches. Right. He might be able to rattle off a couple more than Bozier's used to. Bozier, I could see him winning this fight. I agree with you in that, he's kind of actually light on his feet for a big guy, Bozier is. And if he could just kind of fight in little flurries, pop, 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 and then go back out, I could imagine him working Cutelaba. Cutelaba needs some takedowns in this fight. I don't know that he'll get them. I've always tried to kind of give Cutelaba the benefit of the doubt, and I've been burnt a couple times now, so I'll stop touching the fire. Of course, as soon as I'm off of him, he's gonna fucking win. Won't he? God damn it, Cutelaba. Can you be consistent for us? Bozier could win this fight, man. Whether or not it's a finish, I mean, I could imagine him putting some punches on Cutelaba. I'll go ahead and lean TKO, Bozier late.
Bozier TKO, Bozier money line. He is the favorite in the fight. He's sitting at -130. Bozier's sitting at +111. I read that lopsided. Cutelaba's -130. So the plus money's on Bozier to win. I think it's an under 2.5, -185. I think it's going under. Under's a great play here. Bozier by TKO is +200. I like the plus money line. There's some fucking live dogs this week, man. Last week was Dog City. So is this.
You got it, dude. Yeah, I'm putting down a little dog pound I'm making over here.
Yeah, dude. I think Bozier's a tremendous dog. I think his style, he's going to get taken down early, but Cutelaba, he'll be resilient against, and he's going to knock him out.
I see it, brother.
Yeah, let's go. I like that we're on that side, man. The savage side of Tanner Bozier. Let's keep running up. Let's get to the next fight on the card. It is the featured bout. It's Dustin Jacoby versus Azamat Murzakanov. Dustin Jacoby is my pick here, but, I'd be lying to you if it's, something I want to tell you to go run out and bet when you're betting against a 12-0 fighter. But Dustin Jacoby's nasty from the outside. And I look at Murzakanov having a tough fight against Stefan Chukwi in his debut. Granted, badass flying knee follow-up. But regardless, how sold am I on Murzakanov? I've said multiple times, I think he is a middleweight. He's best suited for middleweight, and I think he could do tremendous there. At light heavyweight, though, I'll tell you something. He's got a big speed edge on a lot of these guys. Dustin Jacoby has done well through the ranks of kickboxing. So then the question comes, does Murzakanov find these takedowns? Could he? Yes. How confident am I in it? Well, I'll tell you something. In the official breakdown, I didn't mention this, but I did one of the 7 deadly sins of MMA picks. I went against the OV, bro. I went Jacoby over the OV. So I'm starting to regret it now because I'm thinking about it more in depthly. And
shit.
Hours. I ain't
Well,
lying
let me
to you.
see if I can pull him over because
Let's
I
see.
got Murzakanov. I think
shit.
that southpaw stance is going to be something, dude. It's going to be
Interesting.
hard for Jacoby to get off on him because he's not used to that southpaw toe-to-toe stance. And then I like how I'm going to say his name wrong. Murzakanov is able to sort of fight in bursts. So he'll kind of wait on you, let you miss shots. Did you see the recent video AKA put out? Cain Velasquez was showing how you could just step to the side of the weak hand of the person. So if I'm orthodox, you're going towards my weak hand, and you can just move your head off that center line and just kind of, make sure nothing happens for a little bit and then come in. That's what I see Murzakanov do really, really well. He fights in bursts. He fights in moments. I think that's going to work against Jacoby, who's much more used to that Muay Thai style where we're just fighting the whole time. You go, I go. You go, I go. We're in each other's face. Kind of a striking clash there. Murzakanov, I think, will fight in bursts, let 4 or 5 punches go at a time, jump with something explosive and then go back on the outside. I like the striking matchup for him. I think he can potentially get Jacoby out of there.
Dude, I'm pissed now. I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
No, we're going to war. Fuck it. I like it.
Dude, I think I'm seeing bro, this is my rule. I'm breaking my own rule. I feel like a moron right now. I'm pissed.
You're an honest person. That's what you are.
I thought Jacoby from distance would have a bit of an edge and win, but I've also felt Dustin Jacoby is extremely mid. And now I'm picking him against the fucking 12-0 guy. I feel like an asshole. Dude, this is one that I want to flip already, but I'm going to wait till the weigh-ins. I'm going to say this. I got to wait till the weigh. I can't do it now. I feel like it's unfair to do it now. I'm not saying dumb pick. I feel like it's a dumb pick. Now Jacoby's going to end up winning if I fucking flip, though. That's the issue, bro.
You just got to tell us the truth, AJ. Bud Rich, let's go, Bud Rich.
Minus 160 Jacoby, plus 150 Murzakanov. So big plus money dog. Mike Finch, you're on Murzakanov and you seem confident. Does he get a KO?
Yeah, I think he could potentially get that KO, man. He could get a finish. He's good at that, dude. He's good at exploding in moments. I think he could get Jacoby out of there, sort of back him up, let his rear leg go a little bit and then line him up with the combination with his hands. Jacoby's tough. I mean, Jacoby's gonna try to go back and forth with him. I think they're gonna strike, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm picking Jacoby. Decision. Fuck it. I'm riding that side. I decide I don't want to risk right now. We'll see at weigh-ins. Maybe I change something, but you can tell I have hesitancy here. I don't feel like I want to be on the betting side of Jacoby. I'll tell you that much right now. So the Murzakanov dog bet makes me crave it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 100%. I see what you're saying, dude. There's so many good dogs on this card that this bet isn't even stressing me out because there are just so many good dogs to take. And Murzakanov obviously a favorite, so there's some sweeter ones anyway. Let's go.
Murzakanov, the pick for Finch. I will ride the Jacoby side into victory. Do we have a prop, Mike Finch? You think a decision?
Murzakanov could get him out of there, dude. Give me a fuck it. I'm going KO.
KO Murzakanov is plus 265. Decision for Jacoby is sitting at plus 190. I'll lean that decision by Jacoby's side. That's what I'm feeling here.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, fucking how many cards later and I'm still getting hated on for my Romanov pick. Could I roast him back? Can we do this?
Whatever you listen, you say what you want to say to him, man.
Mega Dan has been hating on me, bringing up my Romanov pick. Okay, here we go. Not only was it my lock of the week, I was all over it. And then he weighs in 20 pounds heavier. So you heard what AJ just said. Always check out the weigh-ins because Romanov came in there fat as a house. It was obvious you wouldn't want to bet on him if he didn't train for the fucking fight. He looked like he'd been fucking, who's the guy with the blonde hair who does he's like a famous chef. They give him he was at the event in Miami.
That
guy. Guy
Fieri.
Guy Fieri was Romanov's nutritionist. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking awful. He came out there fat as a house. So if you wait until weigh-ins to bet, like no way I would tell somebody to bet on his fat ass who knew that he was that out of shape. So we're out here betting on fights every single week. So you guys got to put it out here and risk it with us. All right. Don't just be hating, bringing shit back from the dead. But not only was that my lock of the week, I was super confident until we saw how bad he looked at weigh-ins. And AJ brought that up to me right away. I don't know if you remember, AJ.
Yeah,
you were like, dude, he looks fat as shit.
He looks fattish. I was shitting my pants. I said, "Oh my god, what?"
So that's why when AJ says like wait till the weigh-ins, bro, that's wisdom.
Yeah, that's why I hate doing the lock on Monday. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been taking lock L's. So I get nervous, bro. I fucking start overthinking it. I think I got one. We'll talk about it soon.
Undercover MVP Romanov trained at IHOP. I'm saying, bro.
He looked
I'm
like it.
saying this dude trained at IHOP, bro. That is exactly right. And I was at IHOP yesterday, so I know how he feels.
Mike
Holy
Finch.
shit.
Dick Finch,
down.
baby. He's ready to get in there with Volkov, man.
Bro, yeah, Volkov beat his fucking ass and he quit like a bitch against Volkov.
Terrible.
I mean,
That was awful.
I'll take it on the chin, guys. I will.
Yeah.
But certainly not the Romanov that we had seen previously. That guy would get his ass kicked by Romanov 2 years beforehand, right?
Agreed.
It's the if you don't train to win a fight, you'll probably lose it. So
Romanov's done,
sure
bro.
Guys are in shape.
Yeah, agreed. Weigh-ins are essential. That's why the weigh-in show every Friday. Make sure you guys watch it. Let's keep running. Co-main event of the evening. We got Edson Barboza versus Billy Quarantillo. I'm going with Edson Barboza to win this fight. I think he matches up well with Billy Q. I look at Billy Q. What do I see? Dangerous, aggressive, pressure striking, but hit ability through the roof. On the ground, what do I see? Solid Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but not like A-tier grappling where he's Khabib Nurmagomedov top pressure or like the slickness on the mat of a Jacare Souza. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's got some good ground skills. But I look at Edson Barboza's last fight and I say, okay, yes, he lost to Bryce Mitchell and he got thrown around a bit. Bryce Mitchell's got some fucking solid takedowns. And I think like stylistically, it was a weird matchup that Barboza really failed in. With Billy Q, I think there'll be a lot more striking. I think it's much more competitive. And I think that Edson Barboza's stand-up game is still off the charts. So I'm going to ride Edson Barboza to victory, man. I think he could even get a knockout potentially in this fight.
Bro, how is he a dog like this to Billy Quarantillo? Are these odds not surprising to you?
I was like, did they know something might own? Is he fighting with something torn up? I don't know.
Bro, Barboza beats the fuck out of people. I mean, one common opponent, if we could play that game here, would be Shane Burgos. Shane Burgos beat up Quarantillo just fine. As to where Edson Barboza came out there and gave him a seizure, bro. Edson Barboza is a phenomenal kicker. His hands are better than ever. Training out there with Frank Yeager's coach. How am I missing his name? They train in the basement. He's the guy with the glasses.
I see him in my head, but I can't think of his name.
I see him all the time at Bellator events too. How dare I? Yeah, somebody's gonna drop it in the comments. Shit. I hope. Anyway, I know he's got a great boxing coach out there as well, who's really shored up his hands. Edson Barboza looks phenomenal to me, and I know he lost to Giga Chikadze. I'll tell you what. Nobody's outstriking Giga Chikadze without those takedowns that Cater hit him with, man. Giga Chikadze will shut anybody down on the feet. That is not what Billy Quarantillo is bringing to this fucking fight. I'll tell you that. And then the other loss was Bryce Mitchell. Yeah, those are with double legs. Billy Quarantillo can't wrestle like that. So I think this is like a tailor-made fight for Edson Barboza. I'm super surprised at the odds, and I'm super confident that Edson can get this thing done.
Let's go. Edson Barboza, pick for us both. Let's fucking go. Now, odds for it, Edson's at plus 155, and then Quarantillo's at minus 165. I think we're going under 2.5, which is plus 100. Barboza by KO is plus 400. Essentially, what the lines are telling me is the bookies believe that Edson Barboza is washed.
And I don't see that, guys. I don't see that, and especially in the Bryce Mitchell fight and the Giga fight. If those are the two they're going off of, has to be right. Those are the two they're going off of. I don't see it. You know, the guy who beat up Shane Burgos in 2021, that guy fucks up Billy Quarantillo, and I still think he exists. With that being said, the boxing coach's name is Mark Henry. Boom.
Boom. There we go. Mark Henry. That's the legend. Mark Henry, the Savage, bro.
There you go. And yeah, I do think that Edson Barboza is a much better striker, man, and hard to take down too. I mean, even though Bryce Mitchell got those double legs off, I don't see Billy Quarantillo taking him down. I think Billy Quarantillo's fucked, bro.
Yeah, I'm going with the side of Edson Barboza to get the win, and that leads us into the main event of the evening. If you guys haven't, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Moneyline every Monday. Do not miss it. Mike Finch. I am excited to see Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. And initially, I was more excited to see, Arnold Allen as this prospect that could potentially take out a Holloway. And then we see what Volkanovski was able to do with Islam Makhachev, and it made me think this. Wow, Max Holloway is a great fighter that just happens to be in a division where there is the fucking monster of monsters, the best featherweight ever, Alexander Volkanovski. I'm picking Max Holloway to beat Arnold Allen, man. I think the volume is legit. I see him finding shots through the guard. Arnold Allen is a tricky southpaw. I'll give him credit there, but he doesn't have the speed of a Holloway. And then I ask myself this question. Yes, Allen has some pop in his hands, but Holloway's durability, taking the best shots from Dustin Poirier, who, is another southpaw. I think Holloway pulls this one out on the cards. I'm saying like 49-46, hard-fought decision, good kickboxing on both sides, but Holloway wins with more volume. The gas tank never fades, and he gets his hand raised.
Max Holloway is clearly a better boxer. I mean, if you look at the volume, if you look at the shot selection, Allen more so, he'll wing some shots out there, and he was able to, put away Dan Hooker pretty nicely, throwing some big shots, big punches. But if you look at the other aspects of striking, I like Allen a lot in this matchup. For instance, calf kicks. Dude, I think Allen can shore up some like Volkanovski was really able to attack that lead leg of Max Holloway, and I think Allen could do it even better, AJ. I mean, Allen's even longer. He's got those long shins that he's going to put across the calves and the quads, attacking the sciatic nerve and the perennial nerve. I could imagine that really affecting the hands of Max Holloway. It's such a good matchup, but I've been on Allen the whole way up. Allen's never disappointed me yet. Call me crazy. Give me Brendan Allen in this one, dude. I will say this.
Brendan Allen.
AJ's pissed. Don't throw your fucking monitor at me, bro.
I was making fun of you because you said Brendan Allen.
Oh, I said Brendan Allen? I'm sorry. Not Brendan Allen. That'd be the heavier Allen. We want the lighter Allen. Okay. Can we get 145 Allen, please? I do think that he can get it done with his legs, dude. I think if he just stays active with the kicks, keeps investing in the lower body. The thing I'm wondering is, will Arnold Allen be able to keep that clip over the entire 5 rounds? That's interesting because Max Holloway can. How many times have we seen Max Holloway go 5 rounds? Arnold Allen hasn't really had to do that. So I want to see what he'll look like in the later rounds. He looks like he's in shape to me, bro. He looks like he's ready to rock. Stylistically, the kicking over the punching too, the way Volk did it kind of left a little bit of a blueprint, right? And then Volk, such great, wrestling and jiu-jitsu and all that stuff, but didn't really need to use it against Max. And Arnold Allen, I don't think he has that type of strength and whatnot that Volk has, but it wasn't necessary to beat Max. If you just kick more than Max and sort of don't engage with him that much, other than that, you could win rounds. I think Arnold Allen can win rounds against him, dude.
So you think he can keep up that 5-round pace, man?
Interesting, right? I think Holloway could potentially put a lot of pressure on, which would allow him to sort of slow Arnold Allen down. If he puts a high volume on him and throws himself into the fire, that would make sense. But Max Holloway says himself he doesn't spar anymore. Like, is that the type of Max Holloway we should expect in the future? The guys who say they don't spar, to me, that means like, when they get out there, they might be a little gun shy. So if that's the Max we get, I think he's getting his legs kicked up, dude.
All right, listen, I think Max is going to look good out there. I'm expecting the Calvin Kattar Max Holloway coming out and unloading some damage, bro. I'm actually looking forward to seeing if he can, I don't know, bring that heat, because then he's in such an interesting spot where he's the Robert Whittaker of the weight class. He's had a good amount of time to recover from the Volkanovski fight. I'm going to say it's a fucking fight, dog fight. It's a scrap. It's going to be a good fight either way. I think both guys are awesome. I think, you have top-level featherweights. I think Arnold Allen, could potentially challenge for a belt at some point, even with loss here. But if he's a winner, holy shit, he's right in the spotlight because the interim champion has a loss to Max Holloway recently. So Max Holloway to defend the blessed belt and still, baby.
Is Drake going to lose another couple $100,000 on him? I don't know, man. I think I think Max Holloway could still have some serious career performances here, could touch the belt again. But Arnold Allen, it's not that I don't believe in Max Holloway, it's that Arnold Allen is a problem, dude. I think people don't know, and he's a dog here, obviously.
He is dog money. I'll give you the lines right now. -180, Max Holloway, +155 for Arnold Almighty Allen.
+155. Might be a little foreshadowing in the future. Move up to that lightweight division. No, Arnold Allen is a beast at this weight class. And dude, Arnold Allen versus Yair Rodriguez, and there's so many fun fights with him. He's such an exciting fighter to watch. So we'll see if Max Holloway could deal with the kicks, man. Against Volk, the answer was no.
Yeah, we'll find out here. I think we're going distance over 4.5 -150. I do think it goes all three or all five rather. And then Holloway decision +150 doesn't call my name. Allen by decision is +310. Obviously, I'm not on that side. Just to read it out, I like Max Holloway. Yes, he is the favorite in this matchup. Finch on the big plus money. I like to see it, bro. And I'm curious, Mike. It's lock of the week time. The locks have been warfare each and every week, Mike Finch. I've been getting uppercutted, kicked in the face. I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. Listen, I'm not used to giving locks on Monday. We did them Thursday last year. So
right. You got all week to think about it.
Right.
A couple embeddeds, kind of.
You get a feel. You're like, and you. I don't know. I think intuition comes into it sometimes.
Sure, I could have waited and seen that fucking belly on Romanov and
right.
Fuck, why is he so fat?
It's a Monday money line lock, people. So bet intelligently, as Mike Finch always says. It's not advice. We're just telling you what we think. We want to jump to the money line lock section, baby. Lock of the night for UFC Kansas City. Mike Finch, as always, you're up first, bro.
Look, guys, there are so many dogs on this card that I like. It's hard to pick one, but I promise you for my parlay and for my lock, I will stick in the dog section. And for the lock of the night, I got to go with the fighter who's a dog, who's the most proven, right? And some people might think he's on his last leg. They might think he's a little old. I haven't really seen that yet. I do think that contenders like, Bryce Mitchell are just very high level, and that's why he had an issue with the grappling there. I do think that against a Billy Quarantillo and Edson Barboza is going to look good, using his legs, making sure he's just hitting twice as hard as Billy Quarantillo does. Billy Quarantillo, of course, has youth on his side, but those odds are too wide. I expected Edson Barboza to be a slight favorite here. Seeing him as the dog, it's mispriced. Give me Edson Barboza as my lock of the night.
I'm cutting out, man. I'm sorry, Finch. I don't have a lock. I want to retire the Monday lock, bro. They're telling me don't do it. Oh my God.
Please, no lock on Mondays. LOL. What? I had
shit.
Ignacio Bahamondes last week. I hope somebody made some money off of that.
The Monday lock, bro. Oh, you see the pain in my face, people. All right. I don't like giving the Monday fucking lock because I feel like my intuition hits me on Wednesday when I do this week's best MMA bet. So the Monday, emphasize that shit. Money line lock. As I'm talking to you here, I'm like having second thoughts. I'm stuck between two. But I think it's going to be Matheus Nicolau. I really think he's going to beat Brandon Royval. I'm very sold on his skill set. So if I had a gun to my head, forced to lock something up, we're going fucking Nicolau. I'm doing it. Nicolau. That's it. That's the one. We're going with it. The Nicolau side, bro.
Fair enough. And no,
I'm waiting to weigh-ins.
I'm not selling you timeshares, Don. No. Come on, son.
I'm doing a post weigh-in lock too, because sometimes the intuition changes. That's something I added into the weigh-in show.
There you go. Hey, I got some more dogs for you guys if you want them.
Let's go. Listen, let's go to the parlays. Let's see what you're thinking, Mike Finch, and let's fucking dog city it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Parlay time.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Remember that it's Monday when you go to bet on these fights.
Yeah, guys, I'd save it. I'd take your time unless you got a real strong intuition, unless you know for a fact Friday, your best day to bet it. Now, it is parlay time. Mike Finch, where is the parlay standing for you today?
I think Piera Rodriguez is criminally underrated. How dare she be anything but a favorite? I mean, it might be like even odds. Last time AJ talked to me, you just said she was a slight dog. That's crazy.
Plus 110.
That's crazy to me. So Piera Rodriguez, we got to throw her in a parlay. And then if you look down the list, I mean, I'm looking at Tanner Bozier being a nice dog. I'm looking at, potentially Arnold Allen being thrown in there. So that's too many since they're dogs.
Holy
Let me just
shit. Plus 1,050.
plus 1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But no. Let me keep it simple. Piera Rodriguez, Tanner Bozier.
Plus 345 for the Mike Finch parlay.
Let's go with that.
I like where you're going with that one. That's some dog money and then, 2 viable winners. I'm going to throw my parlay out with some fire. I'm going to throw the heat at you, bro. We're going to put the top tier option of a value bet, Daniel Zellhuber, who I think is in a tremendous matchup against Lando Vannata. I really see a victory for him. I think the stylistic matchup is favorable. I look at, talking about how I think Clay Guida's durability is still off the charts. I feel like it would be a disservice for me not to have the over 2.5. So I'm doing over 2.5 with Clay Guida, Daniel Zellhuber. That's plus 180. But if you want to add a little bit of steam to it, and you're like, listen, I think that Nicolau is that next prospect up. If you guys are kind of where I'm at, you get plus 330 if you added him in as well. But hey, good lines. I do think Zellhuber's a great value bet. Like, he was close to being like a close money lock, bro. But take the Monday locks with a grain of salt, guys, because as the week goes on, we see weigh-ins, things can change. So bet intelligently. And as Mike says, not a financial advice, but rather, we're giving our thoughts on the beautiful sport of MMA, specifically the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which brings us a fun card on Saturday. I'll be live for the whole thing. Make sure you guys tune into it. Mike Finch, what are you thinking, brother? What are your thoughts?
I think it'll be a fun card for sure. I know on your other show you said you picked a lot of decisions, but I could see these, ending a bunch of different ways. So I think it's a money line type of card. It's a type of card where you got to look at some of these underdog bets and consider those deeply. So for me, it'll just be straight money line bets, and it'll be touching some of these underdogs, and we'll see how we do, folks. And I know you guys missed me because I always try to drop into the live chat over the weekend, but like I said, my wife turned 29, so I hope you guys had some fun watching those fist fights. I will be on there. And for Lou, who dropped us $20 today, apparently I got to be on this Henry Cejudo card when he fights. So I think I'm overdue to jump on an AJ live here. So we'll have to make it happen, brother.
Let's do it. I like the idea, bro. I think when we bring you in for the Cejudo one, that'll be a lot of fun. Mike Finch, been a pleasure to hang out, chat it up, discuss the fist fights. I think we're going to get great action. I'm looking forward to seeing how the fucking record stacks up for another week of violence, man, because it doesn't stop with us. It's every single Monday, every single week. We don't stop. It'll never stop. And I'm posting every day. So lock it in for the content. Give Mike Finch a subscribe. I got his channel linked in the description as well. Finch, any last words?
My last words are that I'm cutting shorts from that Ben Rothwell interview. If you want to get some hype going for this big Ben Rothwell fight on the 29th, check it out on my channel. And I will see you guys here every single Monday. Keep it locked in to Moneyline. And if you guys haven't liked it yet, make sure you like and drop that fucking W in the chat. No, not the live chat. We're talking about the chat underneath the video as soon as it posts right now.
Peace, guys. Thank you all so much. And we will see you all in the next one.
Next one.